Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Cumming.
Excellent. Okay, week 4, guys. We were going to talk offsides and face-offs tonight. We're just going to talk offsides. We're going to move face-offs out. And Tom and Jeremy have put some slides, or not some slides, some videos together. Tom's got some slides to talk through. He's got really a simple system for tracking offsides, right? It's one of those more difficult things, at least it always was for me. One of the more difficult things to catch because a lot of times it happens so fast. So he's got some good clips on slow clears, fast clears, goalies. So with that, Tom, your screen is on. Go for it.
I'm looking forward to this. I know that offsides is very difficult. It probably took me several years. Realizing that when we saw the clip a couple weeks ago, and we'll come back and review that, but I thought that was way too difficult. You know, counting 6 guys forward, 7 guys forward, I have a little bit easier way to do it. So this is all with the concept that this is a balanced field. Everybody's on the field right now. Okay. I divided up into a couple of different sections. So the first thing I want to make sure of is I think the key to anything is you're always counting. I think we say that, but we don't always do it. So there are situations when basically if the ball's loose in an area, you can't be counting players. You got to be watching the action on the field. Okay, all right? So if we're too concerned about counting how many players, we're going to miss the penalties with it. So counting is important, but find the right times to count. If the guy goes down the field and he's behind the net near the trail, okay, that's not your man anymore. Let the lead watch the action there, and now you can count players in front. So we'll go through that. I think that's really important. When situations when you think you're bored, there's nothing going on, count players. All right, it'll help you the next time down. The next thing I think we have to realize is your transition responsibilities. When you're the lead official and the goalie makes a save, you are now the trail official. Okay, and as the lead official now, or the former trail becomes the lead official, so he needs to get down the field. So we're going to cover a little bit of that. And then the last thing that I talk about is everything we do in the game, most of the time we're counting it. On the face-off, we know there's 3 guys in the defensive end, 3 guys in the offensive end. All right? So why are we counting 6 and 7? There's an easier way to count 3, but once we get into the attack zone and we have the opportunity, we'll count 3 again. So my biggest thing is when we're bringing the ball up the field, you want to count the goalie plus 3. And I say that because most of the time the goalie, you count him, he's there, you find your 3 defensemen, and forget about the goalie. Because most of the time the goalie's staying in his goal. So as they move up the field, just find 3 players, because that will basically be it. All right, so the key elements of offsides from the rule book is a team is considered offside when you have more than 6 players in the offensive half of the field, or you have more than 7 players in the defensive half of the field. So to me, the defensive half, all right, you basically want to have 3 plus the goalie. You always need to have at least 3 attackmen, but after the ball crosses the midline, then we're going to make that quick adjustment and count forward. All right. Hopefully this will become clear when I start showing you some slides in it. If you have 7 players on attack, somebody's offsides. If you have 7 defensive players and the goalie, someone's offsides again. So, all right, what I'm saying, be careful counting, because when subs are coming on and off the field, that's when counting forward is the most important. And again, remember that there are no free clears or offsides. Okay. Ball comes down the field and the ball's in the attack box, and now some offensive player comes across and he's offsides, we're going to take the ball away from the offense, but we're not going to bring it back up to the middle of the field. We're going to give the ball to the defense right at that spot. So remember that too. That's a rule thing. So like I said, we always want to be counting. When you have a chance and there's nothing going on in your area, start counting. So we've always talked about this. When you're the trail official, you become the lead official when the goalie makes a save. Okay? And right down here, number 3, this is what we teach you in level 1. You quick check for offsides. Okay, you were the trail, you're now the lead, you have to get down, you have goal line responsibilities, you have this 10-second count. But if it's a quick and a fast transition, you want to check for the three guys that are going with you. All right? So now, if you're the lead official, you're standing next to the goalie and he makes a save, or the defensive possesses the ball, you are now the trail official. And as we go through this, you're going to start your 4-second goalie count. But basically, ultimately, you have offsides. You need to stay with the contested play. All right? But you have offsides. Once the ball crosses midfield, we've talked about this forever, and the team is attacking the goal, you have to find that shooter. Obviously, the man with the ball is the shooter. So you have to have, this is a quote I got from Pete Ducato, you have to have 60-yard eyes. I don't care if you're back at the top of the restraining line in the defensive end. If that player is charging the goal, you have to find him. All right? Your lead official at that point has other responsibilities. He's looking at the player's feet and the goal mouth and everything else. So you have to have your 60-yard eyes. So here it is. We have a lead official. We have a trail official. All right? The goalie gets possession. All right? That lead official now becomes a trail official. All right? The old trail becomes the lead. So what does that say? Basically, you're the new lead. You quick check for offsides. As the players advance down the field, you can take and count 3 players going over. You already have 3 back here, so you want to check the 3 guys that are coming forward. All right? This is kiddie ball. When you're a 10-year-old, they tell you you're a middie, and you get the ball, you run across midfield. So as a lead, you check. Check the 3 middies that are going. You're doing a 10-year-old game and 3 middies. And if somebody comes with them, as a lead, you have offsides. But as a trail, you're looking at the same thing. You're looking for those 3 middies right here, the 3 little kids and 10-year-old ball going across midfield. And if somebody wanders over with them, as a trail, you now have offsides. So instead of, we already know that we had 6 in this zone here. But we're going to look for 3 to go across. That's all. So now we get at the other end. I'm still the trail. I'm in a settled situation. And what I'm trying to make you realize is that we go from a 2-man to a 3-man. And mostly everything I'm going to talk about today is 2-man. Because if you're really good at 2-man, all right, then 3-man is easy. You're going to count the same way, but in 2-man, it's you and your partner. So if we make a transition to 3-man, what happens? That you add a lead official, and that old lead official is now the single. And when we do 3-man, the single is responsible for offsides. So that lead, if he was the lead here before he became the single, they reversed the ball, he was the trail, so his responsibilities are the same. Okay. So the single side official, you are doing what you're doing in a 2-man game. I think you want to realize that. You don't have to work any harder in a 3-man game, but you got to work harder in a 2. Once you get it down in a 2-man game, the 3-man becomes easy. So the different situations are this: the fast break. Again, go back to your kiddie ball. Right? Go back and do a little kids game and watch. All right? Because they're told at 10 years old, because they don't understand the offside rule, that you're the 3 middies, you advance beyond the field. So the goalie makes a save, or the defense gains possession. You're the lead, and you become the trail. Look ahead, see the 3 middies release, and follow them. Nobody else should go past the midline or enter the field. Once that ball crosses the midline, you got to find the shooter. We said that. You're the trail. You got to know who the shooter is. Okay? The attackman then veers into the alley, and he resets the offense. Now you're going to count everything's in front of you. We said no more than 6 on either side. 6 on offense, 6 on defense, and don't count the goal. Okay? Don't count the goal. That's my pick. 6 and 6. We use the count in groups of 3s. Let's count 3s. Again, now we have to be aware this is a fast break, so we probably don't have any substitutions. It could occur, but you got to be aware of it. And I have a film clip that's going to show that. Again, substitutions we've learned with a 2-man game, and this is what I'm focusing on, is 2-man. Right? You got to watch the action on the ball. Substitutions are not that important in a 2-man game. In a 3-man game, we have the opportunity, all right, for a third set of eyes to go through that. Now what happens? You were the lead, now you're the trail. Basically, you're the single in a 3-man. You're going to find those 3 minis that are breaking, and you're going to go. Because your job as the lead is to stay with those middies or get ahead of them or follow them at a very good angle, okay? Because as the lead, you have the goal, you have the goal line, you have the shooter's feet touching the crease, you have the possible push from behind, because your partner in a 2-man is maybe 60 yards away. Is he going to actually be able to see the push? Right? And you don't want him calling a push from 60 yards away, because was it a real push or did the guy take a dive? And then you also, as a lead, you have the crease violations after that safe shot. Again, you're the lead, you're trying to get those middies as they go and break, you're going to help your partner out in the 2-man game. Okay? All right. Once the ball is settled, he pulls the ball out in the alley, you can count that offense and then count the defense. Now, I always count the offense first, because we're going to take the ball away immediately if the offense has too many players. Okay. If the defense has too many players, we have a delay here. We have the opportunity to drop the flag down, flag down, flag down. Okay? All right? So I want to make sure that we understand, all right, that as the lead, you can call that. How do you know that? As a lead, I'm sitting back there and I'm watching my goal line, and it's way too crowded back there. There's way too many people. So that's when I'm starting to count. That's what I'm saying. Always, always counting. In a 2-man game, both the lead and the trail should be counting. And again, this is only going to help you when you make that transition to 3-man, because when you're the single and 3-man and the goalie makes a save and you're running down the field on a fast break, okay, all right, you're going to count your 3 guys, and these kids are 18 years old and we're not that young anymore, and I can't keep up. So if they make that break, I actually count the 3 guys and hesitate at midfield, maybe not even that, and then proceed down the field, because in the 3-man game, the single side is responsible for offside. Now, this is the one that I think I'm going to try to clarify. It's a slow clear. The fast break is kind of easy in my mind. The slow clear is goalie catches the ball, and typically what happens is the lead again becomes the trail official. You find the goalie, and then you lose it. Okay? You find 3 defensive players in front of you, because the 2 long poles usually run to the side of the attack box. And then the third one either goes forward, up towards midfield, or goes to the substitution box. So when I do that, like I said, you find the goalie, and you're going to file him away and leave him behind you. Okay? Normally, he's not going to go down the field. So you just find 3 more guys at that point. Right? You're going to look ahead, and you're going to find 1 person, because 2 long poles went to the side of the attack box. You're going to look ahead and try and 1 more person. And usually there's 2 guys standing on each side of the sideline at midline. Okay? One of them has to stay behind. Okay? So we got the goalie back there. We got the 2 long poles. That's 1, 2, 3. And now we need a 4th person to stay back. And that 4th person is going to be one of those guys at midline. If they attack the ball up the right side of the field, then the right side usually goes and the left side stays back. If they attack up the left side of the field, then the right guy usually stays back. But you want to be aware that they're up there. And then as a casual thing, you just find the 3 attackmen on the other team. Right? And usually they know that they need to stay back. Right? And they're just harassing the ball. The next thing we're going to do is as the ball crosses the midline, then I start counting players on the team with the ball immediately. But I already know in my mind that if those 2 long poles standing at midfield both of them went over at the same time, I already know I got offsides. Okay, all right? I think it's really important that the lead can help you. But you know what? This is a 2-man game, guys, okay? That lead, and this is what I find. I did the same thing. I'm not criticizing people, but that lead should not stay at midfield. In our level 1 classes, we commonly teach you guys that the lead should be a zone ahead. So we all are used to, because in 2-man and 3-man, we're used to standing at midfield and wait for that guy to cross. We can't do that in a 2-man. If that guy makes a pass to the top of the box, and that kid charges the crease, and we're at midfield, and we're following him, and he steps on the damn crease line and we're still at the top of the box, we're screwed. So I'm going to encourage you guys, all right, that when you're in a two-man game and you're the lead, you got to stay a zone ahead. I mean, we'll show you some clips, but I've done some games where I've actually had to wave my who I've done a college game with. I'm looking across the field at the 45-yard line directly, and he's at the 50. There's two guys within 5 yards, two officials within 5 yards, and that I have to tell my lead, get the hell out of here, get downfield, trust me. And I know John, but if we do this the right way, we can catch it. Okay. Remember, there is a sub box and there is penalty release times. Okay, and you got to know which defending attack man can step over. Kind of what I'm looking at. Now here's the problem that I always find with me anyhow. The special situations. So we have that goalie that we said we're going to forget about. We're going to leave him behind our sight and only find 3 people. Well, when the goalie decides to attack the field, I get nervous because I'm like, oh crap, now I got to find a 4th guy. All right. So I'm hoping that the 2 long posts stay behind me, and now I only have to find 2 more other middies at midfield. Okay, right. So the goalie makes the save, the trail. I find the goalie, and if he advances, I can't let him go. I got to focus on him. And now, all right, I got to find 3 defensive players plus a 4th one. So 2 poles and 2 players at midfield. That's what I'm telling myself. All of them must stay in the defensive pack. Right? I'm going to focus through the ball onto the center line and watch the players leaping back. So the players leaping back are going to help me a little bit. But I'm going to focus not just on the line, but through the ball onto the line. I think that's what happens sometimes. That sometimes we start looking at the line and we miss the goalie get slashed or beat the crap out of it. Okay? And I think that we want to still officiate the game. All right. And sometimes we let that go, and we shouldn't have to. If we're focused enough, we should be able to get both of these things. As that ball crosses the midline, I should already know if we're offside. If that goalie goes across, then I'm looking for those 2 players at midfield and the 2 long poles at the bottom of the attack box. Right? And a lot of times you can kind of be aware of that because the coach might be asking for timeout. The coach knows that he's offside. Okay. If he knows, then you should know. The lead, you got to help in 2-man, guys. You got to help. Okay? You got to be counting who's going to advance over the midline. Okay? You got to help them. Right? If the ball is in the alley on the trail side of the field and there's crap going on there, that trail's not going to be able to get off signs. Okay? Again, I'm going to repeat it again. The lead should not stay at the midline. Okay? It's not 2-man. All right? 2-man, you're not staying at the midline. Okay? In 3-man, you can stay at the midline because you got a guy down there at the other end of the goal. And again, I keep telling this because people are going to say, well, you got to come ahead. No, you got to remember there are substitutions at penalty release. I'm talking about a balanced field situation. That's what I'm talking about. So the next opportunity I think comes up is restarts. We talked about restarts. Normally, they want to get going. And you're most probably the trail official. Okay, all right? You're going to find your goalie, and what I do is I put him behind my eyes. I don't want to see him again because I'm looking for 3 guys. Okay, I'm ready for the quick restart because you know those kids are standing. I'm ready. Okay, but we have to know what the new restart is. Okay, all right? I need to know the situation there. Are they attacking the goal? Is there time left on the clock? Is there a penalty situation? Is this a slow clear? Where are we with it? So right now, I'm sitting there and I'm counting what I have. I count before I put the ball into play. I'm counting where are my 2 long poles at the side of the box, and where are my 2 guys at midfield. And the guy with the ball, if he goes and follows through, then one of those 2 guys has to stay back at midfield. Okay. Yeah. If I haven't counted, if you're not ready to go, then don't start. I'm sorry, don't start. Because you don't want to miss the offsides in the middle of the field. Don't start, right? And again, we talked about this. Make sure you start somewhere close to where the right spot is. You can't have that kid running down the field, right? So you got to be able, and that's what I'm talking about, the counting. Always counting. I have to do this very quickly. All right. If this kid wants a quick restart, I need to know where to look for my players. Where are my defensive pulls? Are they on the side of the box? Are the two guys in midfield? But I need to look for them right away and quickly because I don't want to spend 30 seconds doing this and have the coach yell. We have to start something. Right. Again, like I told you before, the lead, you got to help here. Okay. Count what's in your attack half. Right. So if you're the lead official and I'm in the defensive half of the field and there's 3 attack guys there, all right, I'm going to wait for the 3 more players to come across because as the lead, I am now the single in the 3-man. Right. You got to help out, especially like I said before. If the ball on the bench side, or that's my responsibility. All right, I have activity in that area. I'm not going to be able to see the ball on the other side, the players on the other side of the field because I'm watching the action. I need to make sure that somebody's not crippled because somebody slashed them across his neck. Done with that part. I want to go to my here's my films. But hopefully, so the first thing we're going to talk about is counting. Always counting. I'm looking at it.
Hey, Tom, you want to make it full screen in that top right corner so we can see a little better?
Take care of this first. So again, what I'm looking at here is trying to figure out how to count players. Okay, I'm counting 2, 4, 6 red. I didn't count the gold. You see that, guys? I got 3 white, 2 white. I really don't care as long as I don't have more than 6 white back. Okay. Here's a situation right here, gentlemen. All right. There's nothing going on. This lead official should be counting players. Okay. You see him over here on the side, on the right side, far right side. There's no players with the player with the ball. There's none whatsoever. So at this point, as the trail is going to be up here on the bench side. These are old films, and I apologize, but that's all I could get for 2-man. Okay. So right here, this official can look through his players. He can see where are my defensive guys. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and there's a guy over here. So we're always counting. Again, look at, there's nothing going on here. There's no play there. He can actually veer his eyes and see what the next layer is of who's going to attack this man if he beats this man in the red. So again, I want you to get used to counting. 2 on the left. Sorry about the arrow in there. 3 in the middle. 2, 5, 6. So you can't count 1 at a time. You can't go 1, 2, 3, 4, because by that time he's already moved.
I've seen white shorts in years.
So here's another one. There's actually 4 guys here and 2 guys here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I'm counting defense always. 1, 2, 3, triangle on the side. 1, 2, 3. Okay, can you see that? Is that okay? 1, 2, 3 offense. 1, 2, 3 offense. Okay. 1, 2, 3 defense. 1, 2, 3 defense. And again, I'm trying to get you guys ready to count. They reverse that ball quickly. All right. The goalie makes a save. This lead official now becomes the trail. We would look for these 3 players to sprint in a fast break. Okay. That's the kind of thing I'm trying to get you to be aware of. Go a little bit further here. Yeah, always count. What's important here is this man here was going to drop the ball. We have to officiate the ball. We have to officiate the ball. See the ball right there? Officiate the ball. Now, at this point here, I can start counting. Because I'm the lead official, or I'm the single side. Whatever you want to call it, okay? I can now start counting. So I can go, I'm going to count the offense. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. That's my offense. Right? Here, defense. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Make it even simpler. Why is that important? It's important because if this man throws the ball and it goes all the way through, and these 3 guys decide to sprint the red, then all I have to do is follow them. It's a fast break. I'm looking for my 3 middies. Okay? For some reason, and we'll see it in a second here. Let's keep playing. Look what shows up here. Here's my 6th guy in white. Okay? So now I know that I'm okay. I don't have to worry about it. So as an official, all right, I'm thinking to myself, I got 5 guys in offense. Okay? I don't care that now I have 6. So that's what I'm saying. We're always counting. Okay? Here we go. Here's my 3 red, 3 white, triangle. 3 white, triangle. Terrible. That's what I think. Always have to be counting. Always should be counting. Once we start counting, then we're going to do fine. So here's a really cool one. Okay? Here's a really cool one. This is a face-off. This is always counting. Again, I apologize. This is an old film. All right? This was before they allowed you could take the guy from the defensive zone and put him in the wing. So what I want you to be aware of is, here's Bill Russell. He has his hands up. Here comes the face-off man. Here's the other official. Okay? And what I want you to do, watch what happens here. Okay? There are 2 guys. They're in the penalty area. Okay? In the penalty area. So what happens is, here he is. Here's your other official. He got his hands up. We both have our hands up. Well, look at what's going on down here. Now a guy comes off up there, another guy comes on. This is a new trail Iola. Can you see us starting that with too many players on the field? All right, and then having to put a guy from New Trier in the box. You think that coach doesn't like me already? That he's skinned my ass. All right. So again, it's very important that we're always counting, not just when the ball's in play, in dead ball situations. All right, so here we go. Let's go to the next spot. So this is a fast break. Boom. Goalie gets possession. So what does that mean? This man up here, all right, who is now the lead official. All right? He's going to turn around and run. And he's looking at these players right here. Those are the first 2 guys that he's looking at. So he's counted 1 for each team. All right? And now back down here, he sees now the trail. So if I'm a good trail, I can also look and watch these two guys advance. This man can help us. Our new lead can help us, and that's going to help us when we're doing a team. So as we go on, so right here, we already saw the first guy from the white team go, because the white's on offense, all right? So what do we look at? Here's the next two guys. I got 1, 2, 3. And then there's 3 red following us. Well, we said we already got 1 red. So as a trail, these two guys are fine to go over for the white jersey. But I'm looking at 3 guys here, and I'm thinking, okay, if one of these guys doesn't stay back, all right, then we're going to have offsides. Okay, all right, that's what I'm thinking. As we go through this, we're going to see what happens. See that? The 1 red man stayed back. That guy in red stayed back. The other thing I want to make you aware of is this man here. We talked about substitutions. Right now, all right, I'm the trail official. I may be at the 40-yard line. I may be at the 20-yard line. But I'm taking note in my mind that this man over here is heading to the substitution box. So if I see a guy sprint in, then I know. At this point here, there's nobody covering the man with the ball. So I'm going to start counting ahead. All right, I already know that I don't have offsides. I already know that because I counted the 3 guys that went forward. All right. So as we go forward, look at this. This man, I don't know if you can see it, he's the shooter now. Okay, right underneath the X. He's the shooter. So again, I've made my count, but I can't be focused back here when I'm the trail official. I see him in the alley, but as soon as the ball goes to the middle, I either have counted already, okay, or I forget my count because I want to see this contact on the shooter. Because as a trail and a 2-man, I have to have that contact. So when the coach yells at me, look at my players on the ground, what the hell are you looking at, Tom? I'm going, my wife hits me harder when I roll over in bed. I'm trying to make you guys aware of that. Okay. Other one. So again, goalie makes a save. Goalie makes a save. I was the lead. I'm now the trail. Okay. My responsibilities will be, all right. I want to see somebody sprint. This is going to be a slow break. Oh, it's going to be a fast break reverse. I'm sorry. What's going to happen? He's throwing the ball on the field. Look at my middies go. My middies missed the ball. I'm still looking. They pick it up. Okay. What I'm saying here is, as a lead official on the far side, all right, I have a better angle at it than my trail official, who's probably still back, making sure the goalie's not getting hit. But this is the goalie, this is the trail official side of the field. You understand that? So as a lead, I have to help him out. But I still have to get to my goal line when I need to. I can hesitate, but I need to get there. So what's going to happen here is white's going to come up, and they're going to shoot the ball. Right? The goalie's going to catch it, which now makes me the trail. So if I have counted my players as this lead official, okay, and they reverse it quickly, I can make a better reaction when they reverse it. So let's watch what happens. Here we go. We got 1, 2, 3 white. 1, 2, 3, and there's a third one. I got 6 white. I've counted that as a lead official. Boom. Take a shot. Goalie saves. I am now, see that? I am now the trail official, and he throws the ball upfield. If I hadn't counted ahead of time, watch the scrum that happens here. Okay. One guy in white went over. The second guy from white comes over. And the third guy from white comes over. And at the same time, if I had counted the red jersey players, I would know how many of the red could come over. All right? So it's going to help us in our transition in the game because we're going to be able to figure out what's going on. 2. So this is going to be the slow clear. This is going to be the goalie saves the ball. All right, and we're going to see 2 long poles. One's going to go top side, and one's going to come back to this side. Okay, all right. So that's the splitting of the defenseman I was telling you about. Let's see what happens. Goalie saves. Boom. All right. So you can see here goes one defenseman. Here goes the other defenseman. They're splitting. They're going to the side. So now I'm looking at the third one. I need 3 to stay back. If he stays here with us, we don't have any problem. But now I'm looking at my other 3 men. I know that these 3 can all go advance across. I know that here's my 3 white guys. There's 3 white jerseys. We're going to turn this on. We're going to see what happens. Here's my 3 red jerseys players just kind of hanging out up here. And all 3 of these guys can go over. All right? And hopefully this young man right here, we have 1 here for red, 1 here for red, and there's a white guy with him, and I got 3 red guys here. So I know that one of these other red guys has to stay behind. So what's going to happen is one of them is going to park up here at the midline, all right? And then the other 2 are going to go over. Now we have to be aware, if this guy goes over, that means that 2 of these guys are going to have to stay back. I'm going to pass it. Said, here's the third guy. He's staying back. We have this guy over here. Has he helped us or hasn't he? Maybe. He's calling Mitty back, isn't he? But we said that 2 of those guys, 1, 2, 3, is back here. So he can actually, and there's a third guy behind him. So he can go over. All right? All right. So this guy's going to stand here. We're going to watch what happens in a second. He goes over. Now, what am I doing? I'm going to count. I'm going to count my red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and watch what happens. Because I want to take the ball away if red has offsides. And the coach is yelling timeout, timeout, timeout. All right, and you start to think at that point, why is he calling timeout? Well, maybe this is a long stick, and he doesn't want to play offense with this long stick. Okay. But I can count my white really quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we're seeing that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want you to watch what happens, just so we know we're on the right track here. Boom. Look who shows up. Look who shows up. Okay. Our 6th man. And he's going to substitute off. So I'm all fine and dandy. And if I'm the trail looking at that from a distance, I'm good. If I'm the lead, I'm all good too. You all set with that?
Looking good.
Okay, here we go. Okay, now here's one that's interesting. Okay, all right. Here's what I was talking about. This ball over here is dead. You understand what I'm saying? Red actually has the ball. This is the old-fashioned call timeout. I mean, not a timeout, but we have a horn on the sideline. Okay, so here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at here's the goalie, which we said we're gonna forget him. So here's 1 red. Here's 2 red. Here's 3 red. Okay, all right. And if we want to say white, 1, 2, 3 white. So we're all set. I'm gonna blow the ball in play. Okay, and I know that if all these guys stay where they're at, we're fine. But what we're going to find is this player here is actually going to go across midfield. So as he goes across midfield and he starts to approach it, I'm going to start telling myself, where's the next guy? I need to have 3 guys back, right? So I'm going to disregard these 3 guys if I can, all right? And I'm going to look for somebody at midfield if this man goes across. So I've already planned this out in my head, right? And I've done it very quickly because I want to make sure that I get offsides when it happens. Okay. So let's watch what's going on. Here we go. You guys are staying there. So right here, it's right here for us, guys. Right here. Okay. We said he can go over because we already saw the other guy's back, and I'm not counting the goalie because he's not going anyplace. So here's 2 guys. So if he goes over, one of these guys has to stay. Okay. And here's this white guy that was chasing him, the white jersey player. So at this point, these 3 guys are all legal to go over for white. So I got offside both ways. I'm all set. Okay. Settled. I'm starting to count. If I'm the trail, I'm going to count just to make sure because maybe I screwed up. Okay. 1, 2, 3, white. 1, 2, 3, white. Forget the goalie. All right. All right. That's working so good so far. All right, so here's the tough one. This is always a tough one for me. Okay, it's the goalie advancing over the midline. Goalie advance. Boom. So here's the tough part. It's not a really good film, but I'm trying to show you. The goalie is right here in the middle for us. Okay. If we really want to sit down and count, we got 1 white jersey player, 2 jersey, 3 white jerseys. There's my 3 white. The goalie has the ball. Okay. What happen is I have 3 guys. So basically, I have all my players from both sides of the team huddling with me. That I'm on side. I'm looking at the 3 guys in front of him. I'm gonna focus on these guys and let the 3 guys go forward. Now, if my goalie advances over the goal line, then or over the midline, I'm gonna have to find another player. Okay. That's where the issue comes in with me. Okay. I always hate doing that. So again, here's the long poles. All right, the long poles. We talked about how they're gonna split. He's going out to the side, and he's going out to the side. So now I'm thinking, oh, there's 2 more guys in midfield in each side. That's what I'm thinking. But I have this guy here too. But I'm just thinking ahead of that. I'm going to think, which one of these guys is not going to go? Here it is. I got the 2 guys. Right now, there's my 3. Again, here's my 3. 1. I was over here watching that long pole. So I don't need to look. I got my 3 white jersey players, and now I got to focus on my goalie. I said I'm going to stay with my goalie because I have to stay with him. He's going. He's going. He's going. He's going. Uh-oh, he's at midfield, and he stops. So this is the guy that was probably supposed to be on the midfield side, and he went over. Remember I said usually when it's on this side, the goalie's approaching, that guy's going to go over. So now he's passing the ball here. So I said I have the 2 long poles back behind me, all right? And the goalie is 3, and this man right here at the bottom of the screen, okay, is probably my 4th time. I had 2 guys back here that I left them back there. And here's my 3rd one and my 4th one. And when you watch and see what happens, he passes the ball to this player, and this player stays here, okay? And why does he stay here? Because he knows that he's probably going to be offside. See how he stays there? Now, the ball went down and they stopped the play. Because of what reason why? Anybody have any idea? And again, that's what I'm saying. We're so conscious of so conscious of getting to the midline and getting off sides that we don't watch this. I want you to watch this whole play. Here he goes. Here he goes. What do we see here? Look at that. See this guy winding up here? Can you see that? He's winding up. You don't tell me that's a slash. You got to protect that goalie. Boom, boom. Now the other guy hits him. Okay. That's what I got there. I got a flag down, slash on the goalie. That's what I got. Okay, all right. That's important. And I think sometimes we're so focused on getting offsides or not getting offsides, all right, that we forget to look at that. Okay, all right. So I'm going to try one more thing here.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
Real quick while we're at it, this is a good question we had earlier on today with this goalie situation here. The goalie goes off sides, and all of a sudden we have a whistle for being off sides, right? We need to remember the goalie gets 5 seconds, a maximum of 5 seconds to get back.
Right.
So.
That's a good question. This is one I wanted to do really quickly. This is our U.S. lacrosse one itself in the first. Which I was upset with because so here's what I'm saying. We have, all right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So right now, and we have 1, 2.
You enlarge it.
This is really simple. At this point here, when I'm standing here, okay, I know that none of these guys can go over.
Hey, Tom, they asked, can you hit the box in the lower right to make it full size? That one.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Doesn't work
Perfect.
out. The drawing's not. You see the 3 guys? They're lined up for you. There's 3 and 1. All right, you need me to annotate that? 1, 2, 3. So if we play this a little bit further, what's going to happen is a couple of guys from the white is going to go over. Fine. Guy. So right now, right, we have all 3 guys in white that were behind. 1, 2, 3. So this man who was here went back. Okay. But I still, so now I can just make sure that only one of these guys stays. Unless, of course, the goalie goes over. If the goalie goes over, I have to find 2 guys. So what we do, that's what I'm saying. If we catch this right away, then we don't have to worry. Okay. So, the point where
the city cycle name, emotionally, creatively, spiritually, places like this for us most.
here's the situation. That's the same situation. We actually have a man back here. This is just advanced, right? See the goalie go over? And he said, "Hey, go back." So I know I have offsides is what I'm trying to show you. So I have the 3 red players. The 3 red, they haven't changed at all. 1. Now, you can't see this last guy from the white shift team, but he's over here. Here's the other one, and here's this one. So we have 4 with the goalie, and as the goalie goes over, going to see this man here is going to try to help him, but it's going to be too late. Basically, if you do this, I know I got offside. I'm not gonna, if I know right away, by the time I get through counting all these white players, this guy is already going to be back on side. So I need to know ahead of time. So I'm saying 4. If the goalie stays back, all I got to do is count 3. Okay. Go to one more thing, and then I'm done. And I hope you hang on here for a minute, guys. This is a really good one. Okay. All right. Here. Really good one. This is, I'll tell you, it's the state championship. Okay. So what I'm going to show you is I want you to watch this. This is the trail official in a 3-man game. Okay, all right. Again, I want you to watch. He's moving forward. He's moving forward. And this is, I got my count here. Now watch where he is. The ball is still here. In my mind, I know that this man cannot go over the line. Again, what I want you to be aware of is, oh, it's very clear, but one of the things I want you to be aware of is he's over. He's going back. He's not back yet. That's offside. Okay? The thing that I really want you to be aware of. Look where I'm at on a trail official in a 3-man game. And it's because in my 2-man game, all right, I have to be there in a 2-man game to see this timing. So as a trail, I know we tell you guys in 3-man, we're all sitting back here poking along at the 30-yard line. I am within 10 yards of that line. I can see 10 yards, guys. All right? So when this coach over here is pitching and moaning at me, okay, and I can come up to the film and say, look at this, I got the offsides, right? And I think the major point I'm trying to make here, okay, is first of all, this white team is winning by 11 goals, right? Why give them the advantage of blowing an offside? They need to lose the ball and at least give this other team a chance. That's number one. Number two is, you know what? All right, my single missed it. But you know what? There are times when, you know, as a 3-man crew, we got to get it. We got to get it, right? And if I'm the trail and I can make that call, that's going to help us. If we got it right, that's the bottom line, right? Right. So, I mean, I actually had, you know, we had a game similar to this, and I don't have a clipboard, where the single was coming down the field. And at midline, the goalie decided to go over, and he was being attacked. Okay. So the player on his team followed him over the line, which made it offside. But I didn't expect my single to get that because my single was focused on protecting the goalie. So as a trail official, I called offsides, and that's important that somebody has to call it. Sorry it took so long. I just went a lot quicker when I didn't have all these little gadgets here. But that's what I wanted. Any questions? Hopefully, you know what? I got one more. Well, no, we already showed you the restart. Basically, set things up before you're ready to go. Don't restart it if you're not ready. But you got to learn how to count quick and count fast. Okay.
Thank you, Tom, for that's great. Some good stuff there. Keyword offsides. Might as well talk about offsides. You can go ahead and type the keyword offsides in the chat. Some really good stuff in there as well. Different ways of counting, and everybody has different ways that works for them.
Right, different ways. I want to make sure. You hear me? This is my way, you know, and it may be different for you. And I'm just trying to make it easier from the way I look at it.
Yeah, everybody has different ways of counting, of doing those situations, but do what's best for you, what works best for you. You know, those are, we talk about the fouls that should be called in 3 different situations, right? Safety fouls. No matter where you're at, you got to call safety fouls because that's the most important of the game. Obvious. And the line fouls, offside. This is one of those obvious fouls. You have to call them if you see them. And then it goes to advantage, disadvantage. So make sure you guys.
Tom, quick question. The question I put up there. So you have no problem with the lead in a 2-man or trailing in the new lead in 2 and 3, just trailing the play and getting beat downfield, just making sure the offsides is good?
No, so I think what Tom was talking about, right? The lead still should stay
Here,
as
let me
zone
finish.
ahead.
This is my situation. And
All right.
you might disagree with me, okay? If you're really good as a trail, catching offsides, then I would rather have you, as a lead, stay a zone ahead. You could still go to the 40-yard line, all right, and look back, okay, all right, and help your partner. But if you get beat to understand this, because when I first started doing 3-man, okay, I was hanging out at the midline. And then I went back and did 2-man. And I had to go to my mentor and say, Arnie, what the hell happened? These kids are beating me to the goal line, and the coach yelling they're stepping on the crease. Because I was using my 3-man mechanics in 2-man, all right? And if you get, your trail has to get better in a 2-man so your lead can take away. I'm working a game with Dave Frock, and I'm looking across the field with him. Okay, he's at the 50 and I'm at the 45. Dave, you got to trust me. Get the hell out of here and get down by your goal line. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. All right, if I'm doing a game with a freshman guy, okay, I may hang a little bit, but I'm also not going to get myself, I'm not going to stand at the midline and let this 18-year-old kid beat me down the field because he's faster. So I know John wants to get this, but we just have to get a whole lot better in the trail position. We have to get a whole lot better in a 2-man game. Everything I've done the last couple of years is because I think that our 2-man games are lacking. We all want to do 3-man, but if we can do 2-man, all right, then, I can count, I can see in a lead position 10 yards ahead, and I've counted, and I got 6 guys on the attack with me, and I see another guy go over, I can make that call 20 yards into the attack zone as the lead. I can do that if my trail's not up to it. That's all what I'm saying.
Thanks,
I
Tom.
think it's important.
Thanks.
Better as a trail.
Hey,
That's
you're
my-
going to go to Bob. Sorry, Bob, you're next week. What do we have going on next week?
So next week, we will talk offsides. Just a reminder, though,
Face-offs.
if anybody wants to attend or folks that haven't been at all the sessions, we do have our Sunday session this week, the 28th. 6-hour session. If you missed any of them, jump on. We'll be repeating the material. There'll be some of the material put together that we haven't gone over yet. But that's also an opportunity for additional questions, additional education.
Face-offs and mechanics next week, not offsides. Right,
Oh,
Bob?
did I say offsides? Yeah, we've got to slide face-offs in.
So.
Don't want any more offsides with me.
No, we've got enough offsides.
All right, guys, if you want to stay on for a little bit, I'm going to stop recording in 3, 2, 1.